new car is absolutely amazing.
The boys are back in town and we already got a new project. Our boy Ben over here, he works in shipping. He bought a Z3 with a hardtop. And they're like the new age Miata because they come with a 6-cylinder, but they're
Miata
faster.
with a straight 6.
Yeah.
Still have all the BMW problems though, as you can see by the flat tire and the rust hole.
Absolutely. The conversation started with this because Dee and I, we were talking about my Superior chassis at home, which is a 240SX. And it's gonna be done soon.
Sorry, I had something in my throat.
But yeah, it's gonna be done soon, but I needed a seat time car. And
Do you know how to turn wrenches, Ben? So we're gonna rip this thing apart and put some cool parts in it and watch Ben drift this weekend.
You're gonna turn it on first.
Oh, I gotta turn it on? Oh, well, like any other BMW, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that the battery's dead.
Remember, red goes on black and black goes on red, right?
Yep. That's why we brought 2 jump packs. I popped the hood, we're gonna get on the other jump pack.
And then once it starts, Ben, we're gonna want you to do something. Turn the wheel all the way to the right and just dump the clutch.
That's fine.
To the right?
That's fine.
To the right.
To the right.
Right there.
To the right.
Could be like mid-pond.
Pop the hood, dude. Hey, at least he's got a good engine in it. It's the inline 6, not the 4-cylinder.
Well, it looks surprisingly clean for the rest.
Looks a lot better than yours.
What are you talking about? Mine's got special paint on it and everything. Are you talking about the motor that's blown up in my car currently?
Yes, that one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're gonna do is hook that up to red, and you're just gonna go ahead and put this wherever you want.
Yep.
All right. Step 2, turn the wheel.
This is the first time I've heard it start. This is the first car I bought that I haven't started or driven, so it's gonna be a journey.
Really, Ben? Yo, he stalled it.
Well, good thing you left a jump pack for him over there. Yeah, there's a jump box in the passenger seat.
Got a pile of your basics while also waiting on a few more stuff. So to start with, we got a Buddy Club P1 seat. That way I'm not slipping and sliding in that green seat that's in the car currently.
You don't want to keep that?
No, that's not my
It's
style.
nostalgic, man.
No.
All right, what do you got for a seat?
Super nice. Big fan. I've always wanted this seat.
Yeah? That's pretty comfy. If you get the old Jersey lean to it, you know?
Fresh
we got
shots,
some.
BC Racing,
The
VRs.
VR series. Nice, nice. I see you got a delivery from our boys at Tire Streets.
Sure.
Yeah,
Always
you
wanted to try these,
Did
and
you use our discount code? 2 discount codes. This is for Drift HQ 10 for 10% off, which is anything but the Accelera
651.
651. So any other one, you're gonna wanna use Drift HQ 10 for 10% off. They offer free shipping for these and also a 30-day money-back guarantee. Ben's not gonna get to use them because he's gonna burn the rubber off of these next weekend.
But
Or at
only
least
the
up
inside
front.
half of them.
Only the inside half, yeah. We're gonna make sure it's nice and cambered out. He's gonna wear about this much of it.
so next part here, I got this little box of just random assortments.
Yeah.
So I got some adapter spacers for the front wheels because I'm running 5x114 up front. These are some AVS Model 5s. We also have a Momo steering wheel hub. I'm very big on like the Boss style hubs. I've never been the biggest fan of NRG, so where they come with this little rubber sleeve.
You know,
right
the
here.
whole point of these is that this is a collapsible portion just in case your face goes into the steering wheel.
Yep. Looks sick. Got myself a Nardi Classic that I got on the internet for a pretty good deal.
I wanna
What
know,
you're saying is you work for Drift HQ and you're just buying parts off of eBay. I don't think we should work on his car at all.
what
Oh, yeah?
in the f is this?
So that's gonna be like the final touch that goes on the grill. It's just a little aesthetics.
You're installing that.
Yeah, you're installing
That's
that
fine.
shit.
I'll install that in your tire.
Where's the rest of the parts? Where's the drift goodies at? Where's the hydro? What the hell is that?
Okay, where's the hydro? Where's the dual caliper?
This is
Where's
all
all the
stuff that you
goods?
could basically put on, minus those BCs. We'll do those for you.
That'll be happening next time I'm in here, where I'll have the rest of the parts ready to go.
So what you do when you bring us parts, Ben, is you bring all the parts. Don't bring me half a race car build, and I have to do everything twice.
Whoa,
Hey,
bro. Wow.
Those are factory wheel spacers.
The parking brake is a drum. So we're over here in
The warehouse where Ben works, and we're gonna pick up parts for him since he was too lazy to do it himself. So first and foremost, we're gonna get him some nice Chelsea to Milpa tie rods. So we're gonna get the E36 Drift HQ hydro lines. Here, hydro. Which we're gonna take out the old stock e-brake location and probably make a bracket for this. We gotta take a look
and do
at
a
it.
pull-up style.
Yes, it's a pull-up style. So we're gonna do the Stage 3 PMC E36 adapter.
Because fun fact, front of Z3s is the same as an E36, and the back of it is like an E30. So
We're gonna go down here, we're gonna get him a clutch, because if you guys saw earlier when he was pulling it out, he obviously doesn't know how to drive. He already smoked the clutch, just pulling it into our shop. This E3 clutch, this one was just dropped on us. We didn't even know we were doing a clutch. Oh, and there's one more thing. We need them rear tie rod, or rear angle adjustment for toe and...
yeah, the camber and toe correction from Sweeger.
If you do this to do takeovers, we will find you and fight you.
We'll just remove the parts.
Yeah, we will
No refunds.
no refunds.
Now we got all of our parts laid out here. So first thing we're gonna start with is the clutch and get all that stuff out of the way, and then we're gonna move to suspension stuff. E36 type stuff where these braces here, because they have a lot of tension on them, believe it or not, from the factory, they start to split from the rust. Not leaking all kinds of oil and stuff, which is pretty surprising.
Probably doesn't have any in it.
Little leak on the pan, but you can definitely hear the ticking. But so once the exhaust is out of the way, it makes it a little easier, because I would also always recommend doing this diff bushing. As you can see, this one's all the way blown out already.
That one's gonna be really easy to change.
Yeah. Threw a fresh one in there. Cricket's grabbed me a new rear main seal. It's all just while you're in here stuff. Old clutch, dual mass flywheel. Makes gearbox nice and quiet. Not so good for anything that has to do with aggressive driving. So we got our single mass, big boy, heavy boy here, maintained a little bit. New flywheel bolts, new pressure plate. A new one of these guys. This one's not in terrible shape. It's got some cracks in it. And it's honestly just, again, one of those while you're in here things. We ain't trying to waste no time. Have them drive out and shred that thing on the first run out. Old cars, dry rotted stuff, make it new again. Flywheel's on, rear main's done, pilot bearing's done. So now we're gonna torque this guy. It says 89 foot-pounds. 1, 2.
All right, so we have installed the clutch, flywheel, disc. About to put this tranny back up in here, swap the Guivo out because the other one was cracked. Oh, the other thing we need to get while we're here is the transmission mounts. Okay, I will message in the group to get them ready.
Inner and outer tie rods with our kits can be the next thing we do. We got the trans all that reassembled. These are our ball joint adapters as well as all the new hardware. Just like an E36, you got 3 bolts on the coilover, 1 bolt at the top there, 2 on the bottom. And then we're going to replace this inner and outer tie rod, and obviously we're going to replace these stock units with some fresh BC racing. Pull the coilover out of the way, that way I can just sneak an impact gun right in there and pop that lower ball joint. Makes our life a lot easier than doing a quarter turn at a time. That's the simplest way I show the angle adapter installed. Comes with these provided tapered studs that go in the OEM tie rod and ball joint location. Then your stock lower ball joint will go slightly offset inward. I think it's like 1.5 to 2 inches widened. And then I'm going to pull this tie rod assembly off and replace it with our new one. Our front VRs, which already have camber plates on them, which is sweet.
That's the one.
Woo! Alright, so we took our rear shock bolt out. Now we're just going to pop these crusty old springs off of here. They're a little bit rusted into the base. Now we're getting ready to drop this whole rear subframe. Never pulled one out of a C3 before, but it seems a lot easier than all the other BMW chassis.
It's a new day.
Today is a new day.
You can tell because it's a different shirt and a different pair of shorts.
So we have figured out a few things about this now. Camber correction is going to come from this one here moving up and down. and our toe correction will come from this here, moving forward and back. So now we are still seeking to find the instructions. We put zero effort into finding those last night. We're gonna figure out whether this is gonna be centered on the original spot or if it starts there and is able to move in or whatever. So, all right, so hold the seat out, nice and clean. We have a nice square pattern here for us to bolt our seat up. So that should be nice and easy. Vacuum as much of the moisture and stuff out of the carpet as I could. So now what I'm gonna do is remove my factory parking brake assembly because we are gonna install our ASD hydro in basically the factory location. So I gotta get the center console somewhat pulled out of the way so that we can get in there.
All right, so we have our swager, toe, and camber plates done. What we ended up doing is you wanna make sure these ones go up, these ones go back, and line them up. It's a lot easier if you have someone else to help you hold them in place because these are locking nuts on here. So once you get it just started, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to fight. But it's really easy. You wanna weld these in first. That way they stay in the proper place that they're supposed to be, and then you cut out around it with a die grinder.
But it's nice because once you bolt it up, at least it's staying in one true point, whereas if you drill the holes out first and then try to weld it in, you don't know how wonky it's gonna end up. So yeah. What's the plan? You just tack weld it first, then remove the outer plates and finish welding? Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Tack. I'll do it on this side. That way I don't have any chance of hitting this plate on both of them. Remove that and then finish weld all the way around, and then we'll get the die grinding. So we'll do this side, see how much fun it is, and then we'll do the other side.
Joel, go to the welding footage.
Montage.
I poked my rubber plug out and I was wondering why the carpets were so soggy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this plug out of the way so if it does continue to leak inside the car, at least the one will stay in here. But while we're down here, hydro line ran from master cylinder, tucked it up through the carpet here because I didn't want to drill through or go through the shifter hole because he's going to end up replacing the shifter down the road. And so I routed it back here, and then there's originally a hole back here that had a rubber plug in it, so I took that out. And this is going to go to our splitter back here somewhere. It's going to go to our calipers.
And I'm just finishing up the welding on this. Got a couple more spots to weld. And then when I go in and start making the seat bracket, Chris is gonna come over here with the trusty die grinder. And I know I said I'm not gonna break out my plasma cutter, but there's no way in hell I'm gonna make Chris die grind from here all the way over to here. We ain't got time for that. And also we're going to Jersey tomorrow. That just got dropped on us, so it's hurry up and finish this car because we're leaving tomorrow. And I still have to somehow produce seat brackets that are gonna fit universally every seat. I might do it after I get back. Old boy wants to drive this car this weekend, and if it comes down to him driving or Duarte driving, it won't be Duarte driving. Sorry, Ben, you haven't put in enough time to get that expedited work. You gotta pay double for that, sometimes triple. So I got all the welding done on all of the bracketry.
Now I get to do the fun part.
I'm gonna do him a favor. I know I promised I wouldn't bust out my plasma gun, but in, true cricket fashion, I'm just gonna start blasting shit.
Yeah, at least take the bulk of it off and then I can clean it with it. I like it better because with the carbide, I want to be here for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah, we don't have that much time. We got stuff to do. Stuff and things. Over here, I'm gonna make some bracketries for this and this.
All right, now that we got our bushings and our correction kit in place, I kind of left the toe where it was and corrected the camber a bit because typically that's what we found was the issue, a lot of camber, not necessarily a lot of toe gain. But even so, it's gonna have to get to the alignment rack before it gets anything serious. Diff bushing, we're using our factory bolt, go back through our mounting point here. Cricket's over there busting out the seat bracket and hydro mount. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna finish this up and get the rear coilovers and everything installed. So we took our spring adjusters out of the BCs just because we want the ride height to be a little bit lower. So they give you a different rubber insulator for the top of that in case you're not using your adjuster. We got our shock set for a little bit of suspension travel. Ran my hydro lines across factory locations pretty much. Once Craig gets the hydro mounted up, then we can bleed all of our brakes. Pretty close to being done.
Shit.
Oil change stuff. And
I still have to finish this bracket.
But I mean, in the overall list that we started with.
Yeah, a lot of, almost done.
Yeah.
Last two things, so they're gonna take a look. They made this cool little bracket right here. It's gonna mount right to the factory emergency brake spot and fit right where it should. I'll bolt this thing in real quick. Hopefully it fits good. This is a test fit, but it's already all welded, so it fits where it fits.
With a lot of optimism.
Yeah.
We test fitted these mismatched wheels, and they actually do fit. We got adapter spacers for the front. Might have to add a little more camber to the old girl, but that's going to be a him problem.
Yeah. Real him problem.
Got a good steering angle, so happy about that. Gonna throw some lug nuts on it, but we still got to bleed brakes and stuff once we get that hydro installed. Give it the old.
Pop this bad boy in here, line dried up with all the bolt holes. I'm gonna bolt her down and then stick the hydro in there and bolt it down, and it should come out right somewhere around there. All right, so I pop that bad boy in there and she fits perfect and
It's like a factory handbrake, just, you know.
way better.
It actually locks.
Yeah, it actually works.
Handbrake's only locked in Japan.
Is what it is, but we're not gonna bolt it in because we're gonna make Chris's job a lot easier, so he can just, you know, pull this thing out, tighten his lines, and then I can jam it in there. That's gonna be tomorrow because it's after 6 and we're heading to Jersey tomorrow, so both of us wanna go home to our old ladies before they kill us, because we didn't know until this morning that we're going to Jersey and they didn't find out till this afternoon, so they're pissed. I really don't wanna wake up murdered tomorrow.
You don't see me, you know what happened.
Right, so Chris has installed all of the hydro lines. I have bolted it down, set the height on it, had Ben come in here and check it out. I had him also come in and check out seat placement. So I'm currently working on building a seat bracket for him. I know where the seat needs to go now. And Chris is just finishing topping off all the fluids, did the oil change in the front. So as soon as I'm done with this seat, we can bleed, and I think we're all set, right Chris?
Pretty much it, yeah.
All right,
So Savio's knows best. We're working on this nice Miata, triple dual caliper. You hear that?
Triple dual caliper.
6 calipers back there, baby. This is fast. Once it goes, it goes. Then we have the new addition of the Triptronic semi-automatic sequential transmission. All works by a button. It just switches however you want. Depends how fast you want to go. And then we have this K20 sitting in here. This K20 is sitting in here. It's a big boy. Turbo stays under the manifold, so that way people don't know, it can't really see. Because here you can just pop this cover off, and then boom, it's all exposed. But it's all hidden under there. Bottle stays under the tires, standing up, so that way the heat that comes from the tire
will heat the
cools off.
bottle.
Yeah, actually, we'll heat the bottle. Yeah, because then it gets too cold, so it's kind of like you don't need a map, whatever.
You're giving the people too much information. All right,
No.
so that's it for Savio Knows Best. Check him out on the next episode.
I'll be here.
So along with all the upgrades, we did a lot of maintenance as well. I just did an oil change in it, put new fresh spark plugs in, seat foamed it out because the motor had a loud tick to it, which actually ended up clearing it up pretty well, which worked out great for us. We got the brakes bled and all that stuff. Didn't feel like putting that in the video because nobody wants to watch us bleed brakes again. Cricket got the seat bracket finished up. It's just a prototype right now to make sure everything's gonna work. Our driver position right now is bigger than most. We had to move as far back and low as possible so you would still have access to everything. So a very basic bracket in here, hold it down. Cricket's gonna finalize the final version that we're gonna have available for you guys whenever it's ready and tested. But other than that, yeah, the hydro works and everything like that. So he's gonna go out and do some testing this weekend.
We finished the Z3. Our race cars are loaded up. We're headed to Jersey, but this bad boy is ready.
So Ben's gonna go rip around on this thing and give us a review of what a handful of parts can do, turning this car in an entry-level drift car. Good seat time warrior. Just ask Duarte's kids.
Still going strong 2 years later. He's happy with it. The seat bracket came out really good. Mounted up really easy, surprisingly. I didn't swear once installing this, so the new seat brackets are dope. I'll make some more, and hopefully we won't see this thing back with any dents in it before we get back from Jersey.
I better have some dents in it.
Just in the rear end.
No, the doors. I want to see some.
Some door-on-door action.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys on the next build. We make it back from Jersey.
Saturday, we're here at OSW, and we're going to be testing the Z3 out today. How do you want these guys?
Yeah.
35 PSI is a little too low. We're gonna raise it up, but the steering's very darty. I really like it. So we just need to get some, you know, loosen the car up a little bit, and then I think we'll be good to go. Big thank you to Drift HQ and everybody involved with the project. I can't even name all the people that helped out with this. I'm very thankful that most of the parts were on the shelf. As a warehouse worker, I wouldn't expect to be here right now where I get to drive with my friends again. Biggest thing I learned from this was don't build a project car. because this seat time car is absolutely amazing, and it's all thanks to Drift HQ.